How's it going? My name is Josh Toll, co-founder at Rhize Bio. We are empowering farmers with answers, using some of the world's most advanced scientific tools and technologies to bring life back to the soil. Farmers, they are the stewards of the land. It's no fault of their own they've been spending way too much money on chemical inputs. Think nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. And every year, farmers go out in their fields, they collect soil, they bring it to the lab conducts the analysis and tells the farmer where they're deficient in chemistry. The farmer then takes those recommendations, they go out in their field and they use their soil as a matrix to apply more and more chemicals. As a result, we're over-fertilizing our crops, harming our soil, hurting the farmer's bottom line, and that's got to have an impact on the human body. Farmers lack a very important piece of information that supports crop health. The natural capital of our soil that produces and sustains life, microbiology. At Rhize Bio, we use DNA sequencing analysis paired with AI, the same tools used in healthcare to diagnose human disease. It works for soil and plants too. Now, farmers can measure the biological potential of their soil at the root level, the initial signature of life. They could benchmark and track changes over time, looking at immunity, biodiversity, nutrient cycling. Farmers, they're scientists in their own right, and they love this information because they can make decisions on biological inputs, which are basically probiotics for the soil. They can make seed selections, they can make decisions on biochar, they can even make seed selections. And Rhize Bio is helping these farmers to make these decisions. The total addressable market worldwide is more than $6 billion, 2.2 in the US alone for soil testing. The gentleman in the middle of the screen here, his name is Russell Hedrick. He currently holds the world record in dryland corn yield. And Russell puts biology at the forefront of his operation, and he was trialing different biological inputs, which are basically bugs in a jug, probiotics for the soil. We came alongside of him, pulled samples, we brought it to the lab, conducted our analysis, and our Rhize score actually correlated with his yield and his profitability. Biology works. Now, Russell is a champion of Rhize Bio, and word is spreading quickly. As we have been commercial for about 14 months now, we are on track to do around $320,000 in sales this year. We service and bless the agronomists who work for retailers, cooperatives, seed suppliers. These folks are trusted advisors that have been working with the farmer for decades. Think of something like a healthcare model in which physicians receive lab data and then provide care to their patients. Our team brings a wide range of backgrounds, most notably over 30 years of experience in diagnostic tools for healthcare. We have 3 competitors, and these companies are focused on the soil. What's really important to understand about the soil is it's so complex. In a single teaspoon of really healthy soil, there are more microbes than people in the world. And so what we've done is we've really focused on the root system where there's not all of that noise. 90 to 95% of the bulk soil, those microbes aren't working and communicating directly with the crop. So we focus on the root system. And that gives us the ability to be more predictive and more actionable with our results. This is our projections from 2024 to 2028. We're being conservative in the sense that we believe that we can hit 15 million in sales by 2028. You'll notice a pretty big jump in profitability from 2024 to 2025. We just purchased the DNA sequencer in-house to receive all the volume, and so we're going to be experiencing a boost in profitability, and we're projecting net income in 2028. Since our launch, we have validated our technologies. We have secured a pre-seed round. We've filed patents, automated our processes, purchased lab equipment. And as we are scaling into our growth, we're asking, we just started a seed round for 3.5 to 5 million. And the use of these funds is to go into our AI platform. We want to have a better ability to predict and provide actionable insights to the farmers. We also have experience in diagnostic kits, which then can be distributed around the world to agricultural labs to help inform on biology in the system. At Rhize Bio, we act as an unbiased, transparent steward of information that is changing agriculture. With healthy soil, we see a bountiful future for generations to come. So if you're interested, please come talk to us. We're looking for board members, mentors, but most importantly, a community to join us in our quest to bring life back to the soil. Thank you.
How unique of a identifier is your AI against your competitor? Because eventually they're going to be adding AI components to their stacks too.
Yeah, so a lot of it is predicated on your reference database. Since we're focusing on the rhizosphere, which is that root-associated system where all the microbes are communicating, it really builds a lot of value to our reference database in making better prescriptive diagnostics. And there's also differences in DNA sequencing. One of our competitors is using more of a legacy DNA sequence method that isn't widely adopted, and so we're using the best technologies to do environmental testing for soil. Two of the companies that we compete with do use the same DNA sequencing technology that we have, but they don't focus on the rhizosphere, on the root system.
So the true differentiation is that you're in the rhizosphere, if I'm saying that correctly, and the root system.
Yeah.
But the testing is the same as your similar process. So I want to hear about the process to take sample to.
Yeah, so the agronomist pulls a sample, they send it to the lab conducts an analysis and procures a report. And these reports are predictive. They're predictive of potential nutrient uptake like nitrogen or phosphorus. They can point out pathogen blockages. And so we're similar with these companies in that way, but we're much more predictive and having a better ability to create a correlation between the soil and the roots to predict on things like yield and all that good stuff.
So thinking about your value prop, the key differentiators around predictivity and focusing on another, part of the soil.
Yeah.
From an ROI standpoint, if I'm a farmer, I know that a better yield equals more money. But on average, what does that look like? If we work with you, how much more are they making than the others?
Yeah. So the agronomists that we work with and support, what they'll do is they'll go out, they'll pull a sample. And typically it costs around $200, but they'll work that into the per acreage cost. And so it ends up being around $2, $3 per acre in cost for the farmer. And in our experience with our clients, for every DNA sequence analysis that they've done on the farm, they've been able to sell $30 worth of biological inputs. And what they're doing is they're helping the farmer to reduce their reliance on chemistry. So these products are really, really efficient at cycling nitrogen because these soils, they don't have any living microbiology in the system. And so once we turn these pathways back on, you have a better ability to improve the full genetic potential of that crop. And then you can reduce chemical inputs and improve the biology out in the field. So the farmer's net profit, it goes significantly up.
What's the, just trying to think about what's the recurring revenue you're going to get off of a farm? Like how often do they need to do this testing?
Yeah, so our partners, biological input manufacturers and retailers, whenever they prescribe a solution, every farm is different, every soil type is different, every crop is different. And so they are going out there every year and they're pulling a sample, they're seeing which pathways are disrupted. Typically, sampling occurs in the fall, but we also have clients that are sampling in the spring. And so they'll go out there and determine what is deficient from a biological standpoint every year in order to put the right products out there every year, because biology is shifting and changing frequently. So, yeah. Thanks,